In the year 3132, Earth had become a footnote in the chronicles of the galactic empires. Crushed under the weight of alien conquest, humanity was scattered across the stars, fragmented into colonies and outposts, many living in servitude under the banner of stronger, older species. Among them, none wielded power like the Cerathian Dominion, a matriarchal civilization known for their psionic prowess and crystalline biotechnology. Their warriors did not wield swords, they wielded minds. And at the very top sat Commander Kalara Virex, cold, unflinching, a legend forged in blood. She had never been defied, and never been wrong. Which was why, when her analysts detected signs of a rebellious human colony on the outer moon of Ralker 9, she did not send drones. She came herself. With her black crystal armor glinting under Ralker's twin suns, Kalara stood before the colonists. They were starving. Weak. Soft, she thought. All except one. Elias Quinn. He did not kneel. Who commands here? Kalara's voice echoed in the open, harsh and regal. Elias, lean and sun-scorched, met her gaze with a defiant glint in his blue eyes. We command ourselves. Always have. Always will. A murmur rippled through her troops. Kalara's mouth curled into a smile. Arrogance was a curious trait in creatures so breakable. Bring him aboard the flagship, she said. Kalara didn't enslave Elias in chains. She enslaved him in control. She made him watch his people suffer on a view screen while she tested him with psychological games and impossible choices. Push the button, Elias. Sacrifice 10 to save 50. Or do nothing and all die. Show me your moral compass. Each time he refused to play, she escalated the stakes. He was stripped of choice, of comfort, of pride. But not of hope. She had interrogated thousands of enemies in her long command. Most bent by the third day. Many by the fifth. Elias was different. He was clever. He refused to scream. When denied food, he fasted with calm resignation. When mocked, he responded with wit. And when finally offered a chance to earn favor, by betraying another colony's location, he spat on the datapad. You think pain breaks a man? He asked one day, bleeding from the mouth. Pain shows you what you stand for. Kalara paused, studying him. Most begged to be understood. Elias didn't care if she understood him. He wasn't playing to her gaze. He wasn't performing rebellion. He was living it. Weeks turned into months. Curiosity replaced contempt. Kalara began reviewing his Earth literature, trying to understand the roots of his strange inner strength. She read Solzhenitsyn and Mandela. She studied videos of Earth's last resistance fighters. And late at night in her quarters, she watched archived footage of Elias teaching a child to read by firelight in the ruins of their settlement. Why didn't you run when we landed? She asked him one evening. He looked up from his cell floor. Because someone has to face the monster so the others can escape. Do you see me as a monster? I see you as a woman who was once human enough to care, but lost the war inside herself. Kalara felt something she hadn't in years, doubt. Her advisors grew wary. You spend too much time on this prisoner, hissed first strategist Valesh. You are the blade of the Dominion, not its philosopher. But Kalara silenced them with a glance. Something in her was unraveling. She began releasing small privileges to Elias. Book. Then a meal. Then supervised time in the Arboretum under guard. She justified it as a new psychological trial. But no data was being recorded. She was simply listening. And he, in turn, began to ask her questions. Do your people dream? Why are your leaders always afraid of those with less? Have you ever loved someone who didn't fear you? Kalara, who had slaughtered worlds, found herself stumbling to answer. The change came not with a scream, but a silence. One night, as a cosmic storm raged outside the ship, Elias sat across from her in the observation chamber. "You know, Kalara," he said softly, "you were never afraid of me. You were afraid of what I'd awaken in you." Her hands curled into fists. "You think this is awakening? Your people murdered entire Cerathian settlements when they first reached the stars. You call us tyrants, but we were survivors first. And now you're the Empire. You're the conqueror. And you're scared because you see your reflection in us." She turned to face him fully. "Do you want me to surrender? To throw down everything I am? No. I want you to remember who you were before power made you forget." She didn't answer, but something cracked inside her. The next morning, she cancelled all operations against the human colonies. She stood before the High Council via hologram, her voice even. "We do not break humans. We strengthen them. And in doing so, we expose our own weakness." Her words were met with fury. Valesh accused her of emotional compromise, treason. She knew what would come next. Still, she returned to Elias's cell. "You've won," she said. "They've relieved me of command. I'll be executed at the core tribunal." He stood slowly. "Then let's escape." Clara blinked. "You would risk your life for me. You aren't my captor anymore. You're the spark that showed us even giants bleed." Together they staged a daring escape. With her override codes and his agility, they fled the flagship in a stolen craft, weaving through black holes and patrol nets until they reached the asteroid colony of Rivas Prime, a neutral zone teetering between lawlessness and sanctuary. Years passed. The legend spread. Of a Cerathian warlord who defied her empire. Of a human rebel who helped her rediscover honor. They built something together on Rivas Prime, a fragile but growing alliance of species who had been torn apart by war. A coalition of broken souls finding purpose again. They were never lovers. But they were more than comrades. They were mirrors. Kalara, once feared across systems, now mediated disputes between miners and traders. Elias taught ethics to a new generation of orphans. When asked why he never took revenge, Elias answered simply, "Because she enslaved me to break me, but my courage broke her instead. That's enough justice for one life." And Kalara. She would sometimes sit alone at night, watching the stars, whispering to the wind, "Thank you, human, for reminding me I had a soul."